Give me that towel.
The world of professional wrestling thrives on drama, spectacle, and shocking moments. But even seasoned WWE fans were left shaken after the stunning events that unfolded at WWE's International Premium Live event in Paris. What was supposed to be a night of celebration for the company's growing global reach quickly transformed into a tense, emotional scene when Roman Reigns, the tribal chief and self-proclaimed head of the table, was left battered following a violent post-match attack. The incident forced medical officials to intervene, and for the first time in years, fans witnessed Roman being carried out by a stretcher team. It wasn't just the sight of the usually dominant Reigns in a vulnerable state that left the WWE Universe in shock. It was also the revelation of who made up the emergency medical crew and how the backstage fallout from the moment has begun shaping the next phase of WWE's ongoing storylines. Setting the stage in Paris, WWE's expansion into international markets has been one of the company's most celebrated ventures in recent years, with events in Saudi Arabia, the United Kingdom, and now France drawing sold-out arenas. The Paris show was no exception. Fans had filled the Accor Arena, their voices echoing in chants that alternated between admiration and animosity for Roman Reigns. For years, Roman has carried himself as the untouchable centerpiece of WWE, reigning as champion for a historic period while building the Bloodline faction into a dominant empire. On this night, however, Roman wasn't just another performer. He was the marquee attraction. The anticipation around his match was electric, fueled by rumors of internal bloodline tension and possible betrayal. Fans expected fireworks, but few could have predicted the level of brutality that was to come. The match in the chaos aftermath, Roman Reigns entered the arena with his trademark aura, exuding confidence as only the tribal chief can. Draped in his signature gold lei and flanked by Solo Sikoa, his aura of control seemed unbreakable. His opponent, however, pushed him to his limits, delivering a physical contest that had the Paris crowd on its feet from bell to bell. The match itself was hard-hitting and emotional, but what stole the headlines came after the final pinfall. With the referee's hand slapping the mat for 3, chaos erupted. Solo Sikoa, Roman's enforcer and loyal cousin, shockingly turned on the tribal chief, blindsiding him with a devastating Samoan spike. The arena gasped in disbelief as Roman clutched his throat, collapsing to his knees. The attack didn't stop there. Solo, joined by unexpected allies rumored to be aligning against the tribal chief, delivered a vicious beatdown. The once dominant Roman was left sprawled across the mat, barely conscious, his empire seemingly crumbling around him. The stretcher scene. Moments later, the atmosphere shifted from shocking to somber as medical officials sprinted down the ramp. The familiar sound of urgency, referees calling for assistance, commentators' voices dropping in tone, and fans going quiet, filled the arena. The stretcher team, consisting of WWE's on-site medics along with local French paramedics, entered the ring and carefully assessed Roman's condition. Their actions were meticulous and deliberate, stabilizing his neck, checking for signs of a concussion, and ensuring he could be safely moved without worsening potential injuries. For fans watching live and at home, the image of Roman Reigns, a man who has been presented as invincible for nearly 4 years, lying on a stretcher was surreal. His chest heaved heavily, his face etched with pain, sweat mixing with a small trickle of blood near his hairline. The tribal chief, who once towered above everyone else, now looked human, vulnerable, and broken. Identity of the stretcher team. In the aftermath, WWE confirmed that the stretcher team was not just made up of local emergency staff, but also included long-standing members of the company's own medical unit. Dr. Chris Amann, WWE's head physician, was among those present, along with several French paramedics specially cleared to work with WWE talent during the international show. This revelation highlighted how seriously WWE had prepared for potential emergencies overseas, ensuring that Roman and any superstar would receive immediate world-class care if needed. The presence of both WWE medics and local paramedics underscored the gravity of the situation, showing that this wasn't just part of the scripted drama, but a moment where real-life health concerns blended seamlessly into the show's ongoing narrative. The emotional impact on fans. As Roman was wheeled up the ramp, fans chanted, "Thank you, Roman," mixed with boos for Solo Sikoa and cheers for the chaos that had unfolded. Some fans were visibly shaken, holding their hands over their mouths or wiping away tears. For them, Roman has been the immovable centerpiece of WWE's storytelling for nearly half a decade, and watching him stretchered out created an emotional dissonance between the scripted world of wrestling and the reality of seeing a human being in distress. Social media exploded almost instantly. Clips of the stretcher scene went viral within minutes, with hashtags like #PrayForRoman and #Bloodline Civil War trending worldwide. Fans debated whether the attack was part of a storyline twist or a legitimate injury, a testament to how effectively WWE blurred the lines between fiction and reality. The Bloodline saga reignites. The stretcher scene wasn't just an emotional moment. It was the spark that reignited the ongoing Bloodline Civil War. Solo's betrayal added another chapter to one of WWE's most compelling storylines in modern history. With Roman sidelined, at least temporarily, questions about leadership within the Bloodline ran rampant. Would Solo take the reins as the enforcer turned leader? Would Roman return seeking revenge? And where would other family members like Jey and Jimmy Uso fit into the chaos? The fallout promises to reshape WWE's main event scene for months to come, with Paris becoming the site of a historic turning point. Commentary team's role during the attack and stretcher scene, Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Wade Barrett masterfully shifted the tone of commentary. Cole's normally energetic voice dropped into a hushed, somber cadence as he described Roman's condition. Graves added urgency, noting the betrayal of a cousin that could shatter an entire family. Barrett provided the fans' perspective, expressing disbelief that Roman, the man who had dominated everyone in his path, was now being carried out helplessly. The commentator's emotional delivery heightened the gravity of the moment, ensuring that fans watching at home felt the same pit in their stomachs as those in the arena. Backstage fallout. Behind the scenes, reports indicated that Roman was checked thoroughly for injuries after being stretchered backstage. While WWE has kept details tightly under wraps, insiders suggest that the visual of Roman being stretchered out was planned to sell the magnitude of Solo's betrayal and set up the next major arc in the Bloodline saga. However, the use of WWE's real medical team and cooperation with local French paramedics showed that the company wasn't taking any risks. Roman's well-being remains the top priority, even as his storyline evolves. Symbolism of the stretcher. In wrestling, certain visuals carry a heavy symbolic weight, and the stretcher is one of them. To see Roman Reigns, a man who has survived wars with Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes, John Cena, and countless others, being rolled away on a stretcher was a powerful statement. It symbolized not just physical vulnerability, but also the crumbling of his empire. The tribal chief had always been the one in control, dictating terms and commanding loyalty. Now, that image of strength has been cracked, leaving fans to wonder if his reign of dominance is nearing its end. Looking ahead, as WWE builds toward its next premium live event, speculation runs wild. Will Roman recover in time to reclaim his throne? Or will Solo Sikoa emerge as the new dominant force in the Bloodline? Could other family members rally to Roman's side? Or will his empire fracture beyond repair? What's certain is that the Paris event will be remembered not just for its sold-out crowd and historic setting, but for the shocking image of Roman Reigns being stretchered away. A moment that blurred the line between storyline and reality, and reminded fans why WWE remains the pinnacle of sports entertainment.